Welcome once again to Mood of the Nation, the India Today survey that's already created such a big buzz. The biannual survey that brings you a snapshot of what the country thinks on the hot button issues of the day.
We've been doing the Mood of the Nation poll for 20 plus years now. This is the 40th edition of India's most widely tracked political mood of the nation. Over the next 1 hour, we will focus on people's response on the farm protests.
That's right. The critical issue of our times is that of the farmer protest. Special guests will join us. We're joined by VM Singh. Remember, he is one of the farmer union leaders who's taken up cudgels against the Modi government's farm laws. P. Chengal Reddy is also joining us, and he's got another perspective because he also leads a group of farmer associations, but they're supporting the farm laws. We also have Shama Mohammed of the Congress and Sanju Verma of the BJP. And last but not the least, Rajdeep, our editorial director of India Today magazine, that's brought out the mood of the nation.
So Rajdeep, you had a hectic night on social media. Lots of traction, but a lot of buzz also.
That's right, a lot of buzz over our poll because everyone wants to know just where did these numbers come from, questioning the timing, questioning the sample size. It happens every time, but this time, for some reason, the opinion seems even more
but this happens on Independence Day and it happens on Republic Day. Year after year, it's been happening for 20 years. So there's nothing suspicious about the timing. It didn't emerge from thin air. Regardless of what the political ferment is at the time, the Mood of the Nation is an institution, and we hope to take you through the latest numbers. Let's put on our screen right now our first set of numbers, Rajdeep.
That's right. Remember, methodology, 12,000, more than 12,000 people have been sampled, combination of telephonic and face-to-face interviews. Survey done between 3rd January and 13th January 2021 across 97 parliamentary constituencies in the country and 19 states. So clearly, this is a survey that's going to give you a snapshot. And the first big talking point, the new farm laws, is what we want to look at. We asked, or Karvi, which has done the survey, remember this has been done by Karvi Research, they asked, opinion on new farm laws, will it help farmers? 34% say yes. The farm laws help farmers. Will help corporates? 32%. So 1 in every 3 say it'll help farmers, 1 in every 3 say it'll help corporates. Will help both is 25%. So that's the first interesting finding, Rahul, of the survey.
You know, let's come to what people think of the government's handling of the protests. And over here, 16% think the government has done well in handling these protests, 39% think it's done well, 16% think it's done very well, 25% think the government's performance is satisfactory, only 12% feel the government's performance has been poor, and 4% say very poor. So except the 16% who say poor or very poor, the rest of the respondents in the India Today Mood of the Nation opinion poll actually think the government has handled the farmer protest well, Rajdeep.
With one caveat, which is, remember, I think people need to recognize this poll is not Punjab-centric or Haryana-centric or rural-centric. We've got a sample that's rural and urban, 67% polled in rural India, 33% urban, but across India. If this poll was possibly done in a Punjab or a Haryana...
Punjab is not India.
That's right, but you might have got a very different sample, you might have got a very different mood of Punjab, but Mood of the Nation clearly suggests that people want to give the farm laws a chance. Beyond the agitation, in the wider public out there, people want to give the farm laws a chance. But, as I said, split between whether it will help farmers or whether it will help corporates.
But VM Singh, that's the point the government is driving home again and again. That it's only a limited group of farmers who constitute a special interest group who are most perturbed because their interests are being impacted by the farm laws. In the vast majority of our country, according to this Mood of the Nation opinion poll, which includes farmers and non-farmers, you've got about 84% of the respondents thinking the government's handling the farm protests well.
Rahul, if you look at it, 34% people, as you said in the first case, said the laws are good. Handling it well is fine. It may be handling it well or not well, it's very subjective. The point is 86% people today have a holding which is less than 3 acres and the government says the laws are for them. Now, if the laws are good for them, then why 34% only? Now, the only point that comes into my mind as such is this 67%, as Rajdeep just said, of rural and 33% of urban population. This constitution, is it basically from the areas? Now, if you take a thing like Bareilly, now Bareilly, Pilibhit, Shahjahanpur, all these areas are supposed to be rural areas. But if you go and ask people in the municipal limits, they would tell you a different thing. And if you ask them in the villages, they'll tell you something different.
But Raj Chingappa, explain it. Does your survey account adequately for the section of farmers or rural India? Because he says if you go to the urban pockets, naturally they'll be delighted with the bill.